system in place to keep us in chains. By show of hands, who else is sick and tired of the same 1%? Trying to keep us small, trying to keep us from getting out. Minimizing the struggles they've caused, saying we're not working hard enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands in attendance and for the millions watching at home, DCK Productions proudly brings to you the greatest podcast in the world! The greatest podcast in the world? Suck it. No, you suck it. No, you suck it. No, you suck it. No, you suck it. I appreciate it if you both suck it. Suck it!
We really should stop this fighting. Otherwise we'll miss the fireworks.
There won't be any fireworks.
And here we go. Welcome, everybody, to Suck It. I am the great and powerful King of Kings, Prince of all that is awesome. Derek, how the fuck is everybody tonight on this Tuesday, October 13th of the horrible year that has been 2020? What can I say? It's been a great week so far. Last night, I got a little intimate with y'all, kind of recapped the last year of the show and talked about trials and tribulations and what got to this point and, you know, what the future holds for the show. And it's only going to get bigger and badder and more badass than anything else in the world. That's all I'm going to say. You know, Thursday, episode 100 of this show. Tonight, episode 98. We've got 2 more days. Oh, I'm so excited. What a week it's going to be. So let's continue it on. Right. Let's go ahead and just kick some ass tonight. Because tonight, I've got a rap artist on with me that currently, well, we don't know because, you know, the Grammy ballots are private at this point. But as of yesterday, his new album, Rona, was on the Grammy ballot for Best Rap Album. Just released his new single called Countdown. Guys, please, with a big, big welcome, please welcome to the show, the president of Driven, Tyke T.
Yes, sir.
What is up,
sir.
dude?
Bro, like that was, first of all, that was one of the best entrances ever. Like, I don't know if you thought about stepping in for Howard Finkel, but you should definitely be on the WWE network announcing people. You could do it better than anybody else that I know, period. Yes.
You know what's funny about that? Actually, I used to be a pro wrestler.
You lying. What was your finisher?
I stole Samoa Joe's original finisher called the Samoan Driver, and I kind of renamed it and kind of redid it that way.
Ooh, I mean, I'm a huge wrestling fan. So, like, well, I say this because I don't really pay attention to it anymore. Like, my friends kind of got me back in NXT. So I watched a lot of that lately until the pandemic started. I can't deal with this Thunderdome shit. I don't know what that is. But, like, before all of that, like, 90s, Rock, Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, all of that, glued in every Monday night. Like everybody else that's my age, right? That's so crazy. That's crazy. What's that? I mean, I know we'll get into me, but what's that industry like grinding? Because my manager, her brother's a wrestler out in Denver. And so he's like, it's a grind. Like, is that true? Yeah,
dude. I mean, I did it for 12 years before I broke my neck in 2013. And it is a grind, man, because, you know, all these independent companies will open up and then they'll close within a year. And then, you know, you're starting to build a following in one city and then you got to move to another. And then it's all over the place. I mean, I was all over the Southeast, everywhere from, you know, Miami to Tennessee to the Carolinas and Georgia. And it was just every weekend, man, just driving every weekend, just doing this or doing that. Sometimes for $50, sometimes just for a hot dog. But you know what?
And it was that you hear. It's like, I might've made $4. But it was like the love for it. I got a new fan and I kept grinding, just trying to build my name up over and over again. That's so crazy to hear it from somebody else. Like, yeah, man, it's some wild shit, man. It really is.
Yeah, there was this one trip. It was just me and my buddy. We got paid $100 each to drive to Memphis. And we drove to Memphis, from Orlando to Memphis and back all in the same day. No sleep, no hotels, nothing. It was just Orlando to Memphis, wrestled, then drove back. And then I got a speeding ticket on the way home. So, ended up costing me more money than we made. And it was just bad. But, I mean, I've got so many of those stories, man. Let me just tell you. It's
crazy.
It was a grind, man. I miss it, but I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I miss the being in the ring. I miss, that bond between the brothers in the back. Right. And it's one of those things, man. It's just, it's amazing.
Yeah. No, like, and then the name of the podcast is crazy to me because I think everybody that's plus 30 got in trouble one time telling somebody to suck it at school. Like, that's just the way it went. Like, I mean, I still remember one day I was like walking home and some girl said something to me and I was like, and I remember like my grandma was like, what are you doing? I was, I remember that. Like, because that's what we did back then. You gonna tell somebody to suck it. That's just the way it was.
But the irony is has nothing to do with it.
What?
Nothing at all.
I gotta know why. What's the title? What's the title?
So I suffer from bipolar disorder and PTSD and severe anxiety.
Okay.
And growing up, as a kid, in the 90s and the 80s, and even early 2000s, boys and men were not allowed to have depression. We were told,
"Oh, you can't cry. You can't cry. You can't."
We were told to suck it up.
Suck that shit up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my response to them is suck it. So anyone who ever tells me to suck it up, I tell them to suck it. So that's where the idea comes from.
I appreciate knowing what it is because I just immediately assumed that because of the wrestling, but like, nah, man, that's what's up. It's funny because I think that the 2000s on the back end for sure allowed us to tap into feelings that even me, I would just suppress, like crying or, being sad. It's like, nah, you don't get to be sad. You a man, stop. Like, but those are emotions that if you live on this earth, you're going to feel that. Right. And I think it's best to lean into it before it shows up in other ways. So yeah, that's even doper. Like I'm excited and I will promote this podcast for the rest of my life now, especially knowing the name of it, because fuck that shit. Like I live with, and it has a lot to do with my manager because she's an activist and things like that, but she's definitely like taught me a lot of things that have shown me of who I am and who I need to be, because breaking down some of those norms that are not norms, but just have been taught to us from a systemic way. So yeah, man, I definitely understand that. That's dope. That's dope.
Man, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So what's been going on with you, man? On the fucking Grammy ballot?
Yeah, man, it's a blessing. It really is. So I'm actually a governor for the Memphis Grammy chapter out here in Memphis, right? And so this is actually my second year being on the Grammy ballot. It's a blessing. It really is. It's up to the Academy, but just to be on the ballot to me is always like a win because you got your name on there with some of the biggest acts in the world. And so for my album Rona to be there with them, it's about the Academy. I hope that all the voters who take time to listen, right? It's not like the general public can vote for it. It's more about the registered Grammy voting members. But I would, it would be an honor for them to choose it. But, whatever it is, what it is, I don't control any of that. It really is more about just the race and getting there, which was so important to me. So I'm excited. We'll get the nominations in November-ish. I don't know the exact date on it. I got to check it out. That's bad for me to be a governor and not another date. But yeah, I got to look at sometime in November. So much going on. We in a pandemic. I apologize. But yeah, it really is cool to be able to say that. But yeah, in November, that's the actual top five people out of all the categories. They actually get to the nomination round. Then after the nomination round, you get to see who actually takes home a Grammy. So it's exciting.
That's pretty awesome, man. I mean,
yeah, man.
It's like you said, it's just an honor to be on that first round ballot at all, and to be able to do that is just awesome.
Yeah, man, it really is. This is this was probably going to be the year that we were going to go back to the Grammys. I've been to the Grammys. It's amazing. Walked the red carpet, got to meet Logic, got to meet Victor Cruz out of all people. He was on the red carpet. It was crazy. Mark Wahlberg. No, hold up. No, it was his brother. It wasn't Mark. I gotta go look at
Donnie.
the picture. Donnie. I think it was Donnie
yeah.
Wahlberg. Yeah, Donnie. Tyler the Creator. It was so crazy because Sam Smith was walking by, and so like I'm from the country, like I'm based in Memphis, Tennessee, but I'm from Smyrna, Tennessee. It's about 15 minutes outside of Nashville, so we country. It is what it is. That's just what it is. So I'm seeing Sam Smith walk. I'm like, Sam, what's up? And his people was like, hey, just calm down a little. And Sam's gonna have to walk. It was so beautiful for him. Cardi B, when I saw her, I lost it. Like I losing my mind. Cause like for me, I'm like, I ain't supposed to be on the red carpet. So I'm finna lose it. Like I'm just finna go crazy. Like I ain't supposed to be here. I might never get here again. Right. So let's just go crazy. Let's try to meet as many people that I can. I think the funniest thing was when you're walking on the carpet and they think that you're somebody that you're not. And so they're immediately like, oh, we're about to, that's not Chance. That's not Chance the Rapper. I'm like, I know I'm not Chance the Rapper, but can I still shake your hand though? Can we talk? Like, no. Oh, that's not Dr. Dre. Sorry. Damn. But like, it was such a great experience just being there, you know, to take my fiance at the time. Well, that was my girlfriend at the time. Then later that year became my fiance. Now my wife, to take my manager, take her partner. It was something that was just, I'll never forget. What an experience. And so I say all that to say this was the year we were planning to go back, but then we ain't going nowhere because of the pandemic. So there you go. Yeah.
Speaking of your wife, I know yesterday was your anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Man, look at you doing motherfucking research, dog. That's dope as hell, man. Yes. Thank you. That means a lot. And you'd be surprised because some interviewers would be like, why am I here? But no, that's dope. I appreciate you. Yeah, man. 2 years. I ain't never think I was gonna be married. So for me to make it 2 years into this game, it's amazing. It really is. But when you find somebody who like makes you better every single day, it's really not that hard, to be real. It's one of the easier things. It's just a day-to-day grind. So thank you for that though.
Hey, no problem. Yeah, me and my wife just celebrated a decade being married back in June.
Congratulations, man. 10 years. Whew.
It feels like 100. I wake up, she's there. I go to bed, she's there.
So the thing about us right now is, and I actually worry about this every day. I have a 9-to-5, so like I say that with pride because a lot of people in the music industry that know me and know my story, they're like, that's a part of my grind. It's like one day I do plan on being able to do this full time, but I'm not there yet, right? So I have to make sure. I always say that my job is my record deal, right? Because it provides me the money to do what I do here. Like I'm here with you having conversations. Yeah, we built the platform, but we're here because of it. This industry costs money. It's just the way it go, right? And so my job helps me do that, but she's an assistant principal. And so she's on the front line every single day. Like a lot of teachers they do virtual, but not like the admin. So she has to go to work every day. And so, I don't really see her every single day. So it's a blessing when she gets to come home and like no COVID and we happy. Like it really is, because these people out here putting their lives on the line, these teachers, these healthcare workers, it's something I pray for these people every single day because I see how real it is. I see how real it is. If such and such got a scare, then they got to shut the whole building down. Like it's crazy. Like, and that's why, and I know I'm jumping from subject to subject. When I see some of these college football teams or some of these NFL people, like, put a damn mask on, please, because I see how real it could be for other people to actually have to go out here and deal with it every single day, man. And that's a whole nother subject in general. We ain't got to get into that, but yeah, man. Yeah, I love her. I don't see her a lot because she be at work all the time, and I actually get the opportunity to work from home right now. So
yeah, two things. Number one, we can talk about whatever we want to talk about. Number two, number two, my wife's a teacher as well, so I get it.
Okay, dope. You understand?
Yeah, my wife's a second grade teacher. Right now she's working from home, and that is just weird. But they're going to a hybrid learning end of the month. So so it's going to be kind of interesting. And how they're doing it is, 2 sets of, kids every other day. And then Friday is like a planning day. Right. It's going to be interesting. I'm worried about her. I'm concerned, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I just don't, I don't know. I mean, luckily this is my job and I get to work from home. So our daughter, I can, stay with all day and just kind of, take care of that. But I'm a little bit worried about it. So I definitely feel your concern, man.
Yeah, man, there's really nothing we can do right now. You know, it's just we kind of got to go with the punches and make sure we're as safe as possible. Make sure we put on masks. Make sure we try to stay safe. Make sure we social distance as much as we can, because don't want to risk it. And like that's why this project, the album, the Rona, everything, countdown, all of that, it means so much, because when you're putting together all these thoughts, when you're creating, you're doing all of this, and you get smacked with a pandemic, it's like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Are you gonna stop, or are you gonna try to figure out how to get the shit done? And as much as the whole project with Countdown, the name of the album is Rona, which stands for Ready or Not Adjust, as much as the project is about like new sounds and new genres and trying to figure out new things, it really is about adjusting and pushing through in the face of a pandemic, what we're all in right now. It really is. So yeah, I feel you. I understand exactly where you're coming from, especially when she has to start going back out. It's gonna be something that like you worry, but you're prayerful and you're hopeful that these people are taking it serious, because you know we taking it serious at home.
Yeah, I just hope that everyone else is taking it just as serious, and you know,
right,
kids come to, you know, prepared, and you know, they take, yeah, that's what I mean, that's just the preparedness of it all, you know.
Right. Yeah.
I had a doctor on last week, and you know, talking about the virus, and you know, people are still saying, oh, it's not as bad as we think. I mean, it is, you know, you know, and I worry, you know, if you don't want to worry about it, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But you know, I'm going to worry about my wife going to work every day.
At all times. I think one of the most eeriest things is, so I actually have a subscription service too. And so not like subscription based like Spotify and Tidal. It's more of a fan subscription service. So if you're familiar with the Patreon platform, then that's what we built. Like, but we didn't want to go through that platform because they were taking a bigger fee than I thought. So we just went ahead and created the website ourselves, built the plugin, built everything through another website called Sentry, blah, blah, blah. So we took care of that. So we got about close to 100 plus subscribers, right? And I think one of the biggest things that I was able to see from that was me and my manager. We started a podcast. Now we do it sparingly, right? But we started a podcast, and then the first thing that we did on that podcast was at the early start of this pandemic. We had an episode talking about like, hey, this shit is about to get real, and the people that are going to get hurt the most are people of color, because we're the ones that don't really have a ton of health care. We're the ones that might not be able to get to the hospital. And I promise it's played out just like that. Like it really has. It's like at the time, and I time stamped it. I think in America, we were at like 171 deaths. We're over 200,000.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's just, people got to take it serious. Like you said, like we got to be more serious about it. Like sometimes I be looking at myself like, hey, am I going crazy? Because I'm taking it a little bit too serious. Or am I in a bizarro world right now? Like, that's what I'm trying to understand. Like, I love football like the Knicks, man. But why are there fans in there? It don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense. Like, you look at some of these college football things, there's like 50,000 people in the stands. I could have swore that's what they said spread the junk. That's what I thought. I don't know. But it's like, it's so crazy because as Americans, we hate to be inconvenienced, man. Like we do not like to be inconvenienced. And so this virus has shown me more than anything else that the human life at times don't got that much value as opposed to me doing what the fuck I want to do. And so I want to go to a bar and get drunk. I don't care about the next man. It's a common cold. He might get it. So be it. I want to go out and drink on Friday night. Nah, like sit your ass in the house like we was. Like my whole thought process is I haven't. My wife has to go out, so she's more on the front line. I haven't really changed the mentality. I've tried to from what it was when y'all remember when the NBA shut down. I remember how everybody was going crazy. When the NBA shut down back in like early March, Whole Foods was packed. The gas station was packed. You couldn't get toilet paper. You couldn't go anywhere. And it's like, for some reason, we've just gotten away from that. But it ain't like the virus got better. Like, nothing's changed. It's still bad.
Yeah, no.
And it's one of those things. I hope one day we can get back to where it was. But I know right now we're such a weird spot where America's like, hey, we got to keep making money. And if you die from it, you die from it.
Yeah. What I find ironic about a point that you made in there is this. and this is something I haven't said, and I've been thinking about it, but you know what? I just don't care anymore. People are out there, not wearing masks, not social distancing, all doing all this stuff. And then when you ask them about it, they're like, it's a personal choice.
Yeah.
My body, my choice is what they're saying. But then you ask those same people, which by the way, most of those are a certain side of the tracks. You ask those same people about, women's rights or, hypothetically abortion. Oh no, that's not a choice.
That's not a choice. That ain't a choice though. You see, it's crazy, man. It really is. And so I try not to get too much into it, but it really does. It makes me wonder, what the hell is going on? Because these things that we're not sacrificing to get through this don't have to be here. There's some things that have to be here. Going to the grocery store and this and that. I get it, right? Unless the government was just like, hey, we're going to just go ahead and mail everybody food or something, whatever they could do, but they can't, right? Yep. So there has to be somebody to guard the fact that you have to pay for this service. You can't just walk out here with these free groceries. I get that. But all this other shit is luxury. And this other shit is really spreading it. For real. I'm a huge Tennessee Titans fan. And so I'm watching them right now. But there shouldn't be 10,000 people in the stands right now when this goddamn team just had an outbreak. What the fuck? It don't even make sense. It just don't even make sense. How can this team be one of the teams that allows fans when they didn't even know if they was going to play because they got 23 people with the goddamn virus? I can't make it make sense. And it hurts me because I like this team. But it's just in the back of my head, I'm like, this don't make sense. This ain't right. If there's two people there with it, it could be potentially spreading exponentially. And it don't make sense. Yeah. And
my second most hated team of the college football league, and I don't wish ill upon anybody. I just don't like them. The University of Florida came out today. They have a 5 or 6, I think it was, that came down with it. However, knowing them, that it might be a little bit fishy. They just lost this weekend. They might be trying to blame it on the COVID. So, I'm just saying, there might be
your team. Who's your team?
You don't see the giant block O right there, buddy?
I ain't see you. Okay, I'm saying from the Ohio State, baby.
Oh man, it's on my arm too.
Eddie George, baby, come on now. Like I said, I'm a Titans fan, so you know what it is. I understand y'all. I get it. When is the Big Ten gonna start?
The week of the 22nd.
Week of the 22nd. Okay, cool. Yeah. So they're coming back really soon. All right, cool. That's dope.
And they're just playing conference games.
Only conference games.
Yeah, okay. I think it's 7 or 8 games, just enough to be able to get all the qualifications, so everyone's even. Therefore, they can play in the CFP and stuff like that. Yeah.
You know what I appreciated about them? It was the doctors that was following it, even though they kind of caved into pressure a little bit because I feel like all of them had to. Eventually, it is what it is. You don't want to lose your players to go to Alabama, so I get it. Right, the South are loose as hell, and that's why we got so many goddamn cases down here. But it's like the doctors and the deans were like, "Hey, I don't really know if you should be doing this until you get all of these things in place." Right, because it's the lasting effects that I think people need to be more worried about than anything else. I do believe that most people are going to be able to get it and survive. Right, because I think some of the symptoms that people have, everybody's different. I do believe that, but what we don't know is the lasting effects. I don't want to walk around here not having 2 of my senses. I can barely see. So what if I can't smell? That shit gonna be trash as hell. I'm gonna be walking around here with 3 senses now. What the fuck? I don't want that. Quality of life matters too. So so I think we just gotta figure it out, man. We will. I know we will. That's the one thing that I try to look towards. I don't want it to be all doom and gloom. I know we're gonna come out better. We're gonna come out of better everything outside of this. I have to believe in it, because if not, I go fucking crazy. So I have to believe that we will become out better after this, right? It seems like when you go into these dips and lows, then it's like this exponential boom that comes afterward. I hate that it took 200,000 people though. I don't want that, but I pray that we can find a way to just come out in 2021, just be something that's amazing. That's my only prayer. That's all I can hope, to be honest.
Yeah. And I feel you, man. I really do. I mean, I'm not a baseball fan, but it's been, weird, as I'm watching, like, binge watching, the daily TBS shows, Family Guy or fucking Friends before baseball comes on, and
Crazy.
I won't change it fast enough, and then all of a sudden, I just see cardboard cutouts in the stands.
So weird.
Yeah.
So
or
weird.
what's even weirder is a while back, maybe not even that long ago, the mascot for the Atlanta Braves, I think it was up on the dugout doing his normal dances, but he was facing toward the cardboard cutouts and doing the worm. And so how sad is your life to where you're sitting there cheering on a group of fucking, cardboard cutouts? Face the goddamn team. Face the fucking, cameras or something. No, he's dancing and doing the Macarena for the fucking cardboard cutouts.
Yeah, man, like this is a weird year. That's all, and I think that's probably like the Captain Obvious statement of the year. But seeing those cardboard cutouts, watching the NBA Finals, and then watching Snoop beside Lil Wayne, and then 3 loose ass fans that's barely electronically being able to move because they got bad Wi-Fi. Like, it is weird. We are just trying to get through it, get to a vaccine, and then get back to whatever normalcy that it was. Right?
Yeah, whatever.
I don't even remember what the fuck normal was no more. Right before the pandemic came, my wife just turned 30, so we went to where was it? Not Cancun, but it was one of them Mexicos. It was lit. Anyway, we went out there for our birthday. And then when we came back, it was like, okay, I would have never thought that 2 months later, this would like, I haven't been into my building physically for like 7 months. It's crazy. Like, that just ain't the way that we would think that the world would be, but that's where we're at right now. So. Yeah.
I remember it fondly, like, that first time you went to Disney World, that I remember it like that, going to a bar or going to watch live music or something like that. I mean, right. And that's been the worst for me, because I'm that music guy, like we were talking about earlier. Last year I went and saw 10 shows last year, and to not see none this year.
Nah, man.
And I was someone that was a musician before I was a wrestler. I toured and did, guitar work and stuff like that. And I know that feeling. And it breaks my heart to know that, people like you and all these other artists I've talked to and all the other artists I haven't talked to that are just sitting at home, sitting there saying, what the hell are we going to do?
It's trash.
Yeah,
it's trash.
It really is.
Yeah, it's terrible. It really is. It forces you though. Like, it back to the title of my album, it really, Ready or Not, Adjust, Rona. Because it didn't matter what level you at. It don't matter who you are. None of us can tour right now. It doesn't matter if you're Beyonce, who does amazing things, or you're a local rapper. We're all in the house for the most part. Now, you can take a risk, but most places in the world right now ain't letting you have shows. Like, you just can't do it. Like, the industry that got hit the hardest was the music industry, because we are a business based on people. And right now, you cannot have a lot of people in one spot. You're not supposed to. Like, now other industries are like, fuck that shit, do whatever, right? But the music industry, they're not letting up on. So you can't really do this right now. And so it forces you to find different ways to find new revenue. Now, for me, I probably will perform maybe two or three times every other month, to be honest, because of the way my 9-to-5 was built, and then the way that the shows would come to me. I had already started to figure out different ways to get new revenue anyway. And so I started to tilt my eyes towards sync licensing and film trailers and movies and video games trailers and things like that, because like touching the people is very important, but also getting this money is very important too. So I was trying to find different ways. And I think that's the one industry that is probably going to come back the fastest, because content, once studios get open just a little bit, is going to explode. Like, there's going to be so much content, because eventually we're going to be so goddamn, we're already dried up on virtual. Like, we've seen enough virtual concerts at this point. Like, I've seen everybody, nobody wants to see anybody virtual. We want to touch you, want to feel you, want to know what's going on. But also, all the shows that we've gotten used to or we've watched, that's backdated. They haven't been able to film anything new. So eventually there's going to be a pause. There's going to be a lack. Like, that pipeline is going to be really, really trash. And they're going to have to hurry up and get us new content faster than we can ever do it. Like, it's going to be a floodgate full of ads, full of new TV shows, full of pilots. At that point, we ain't going to care. We're just going to consume it because we need it. Because eventually, as we go into this winter, I'm assuming they're probably gonna make everybody sit their ass back down because the shit get worse every day. We're gonna have to get more content, and that's where I'm trying to make sure I'm positioned. I got this catalog of content where, you know, if you're making this new TV show, then you can use me for a trailer, or you can use this for an emotion to help out this scene, or you can use this string and this word that I'm using to actually like push that through on an NBC show. Like that's where I had already kind of shifted my mind, but it just really went to a stronger spot once COVID-19 come, because right now you got to figure out different ways to get revenue. You have to, as an artist, you have to.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. But that's what you also said is also my biggest fear for the music industry. Because come next year, you know, as far as music goes, I think, you know, with everybody, you know, creating new stuff and, you know, reinventing themselves and doing all this stuff, come January, February, March, there's going to be a lot of content out there. But it's almost going to be too much to where there's people aren't going to know what to listen to. They're going to go back to their tried and trues, you know, and the discovery for newer artists like yourself, you know, I think is going to be harder. So, you know, I love what you're saying because, you know, hey, let's go ahead and, you know, license this to this person, do this with this and, you know, movies and TV and blah, 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 because then that's going to give people every time they turn on a TV or watch something on Hulu, boom, there's Tyke.
Yeah, that's the goal. And you know, I think it's already hard to get noticed in this industry, to be honest, because there's so much content. Like, you know, artists break from TikTok now, not from radio. So that's just the way it goes. Like you get a TikTok viral song, you're gone. And that might beat somebody that's been doing this for 10 years. So I think it's already difficult. It's more about what are your goals? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to build? Are you trying to build a following, a tribe that gets around you? Or are you trying to be this huge artist that, you know, a worldwide artist? And that's fine too. But, you know, there are steps that are going to take for you to get there. It's more about understanding what it is that you're trying to do from a digestible standpoint, like from a digestible goal standpoint. And if you do those small things, then those bite-sized goals that can help you knock those smaller things out, then you'll get to that big thing. So to me, I'm not really even concerned. Like when other artists drop content, so I got my base. I know who they are. And we're building it every single day. Like it's a new day. Like every single day, I have to figure out how to gain a new fan that knows who I am by modes like this podcast, by modes like social media. Like social media is very powerful. It's one of the most cost-effective ways to contact people. I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. You know, if you run the correct targeted ad, to convert a new fan might cost you 2 cents. To get a billboard down here on I-40 might cost me $400. It doesn't even make any, like it's like the most cost effective way to get people to know who you are, right? Like a radio ad might cost you $300. Like I said, a conversion from somebody who likes your page might cost you at max, if you do it right, you target it right, it might cost you less than 30 cents. So like there's ways to do it. It's just about, as the artist, like where's your mind at? And it's hard because there's so many different things pulling you left right in this industry, man. Like if you just want to be what you see on TV, you got to pull the curtain up to know all the steps that they took to get there. And there are not a lot of people who are forthcoming with that information to show you how to get there, right? So you running through this goddamn rabbit hole, not seeing progression. But then you also got this thing where the music industry is one of those things where everybody has a big opinion on it, right? Like if you're trying to be a doctor or a lawyer, ain't nobody in your family gonna be like, what the hell take you so long to graduate and get a job? Not gonna be like, he in school, he doing well. You trying to rap or do music? You've been doing that shit for like 3 years. What's going on? Like, what the fuck? Like 3 years ain't really a long time to do nothing. Like it takes 4 years to get a degree. Why I gotta be the next Drake in 6 months? Like that's the opinion for music. It's like, and everybody got an opinion. Everybody's an expert. It's like you wouldn't have an opinion on John Hopkins surgery. They wouldn't have an opinion on that, right? Yeah, but they can have an opinion on music for some reason because it's so subjective. Like, and so you got all these different pressures coming at you, and it just drives people crazy, and a lot of them just quit. But I just told myself a long time ago, my goal that I want to do this every day. Doesn't matter what anybody thinks about it. Like I had to get out of that because when I was doing it for other people, that's a bad rage to live in, and you can't harness that rage forever. The first album I ever did is called The Overlook. It dropped in 2013, I think it was now. But if you listen to the song, it was just me like, I'm overlooked, but I'm going to show y'all what I'm going to do. You can't harness that rage forever because that's not life. So I had to realize as I progressed as an artist and grew up and understand this shit, like I'm doing this for me. I just want to do music forever. Like it'll be a part of me. Whenever I have kids, so if I'm a 58-year-old man, I'm gonna find a way to be tap dancing. I mean, or making a beat. Like I'm just gonna be doing this. This is just who I am. I'm good at this. I like to do it. And if I'm satisfied with that, then everybody else's opinion on what I'm doing cannot matter. It just can't. Just can't.
And that's the way I do it. No, dude, but that's exactly the way I feel about it too. Because I mean, I've gotten flack for the exact same thing from a different level. You know, I mean, oh, you should be doing it this way. Oh, you shouldn't talk about politics. Oh, you shouldn't talk about this. Oh, talking about mental health too much, that's boring and nobody wants to hear about that. Don't do that. It's like, stop. This is my show. I'm going to talk about whatever, but it's not even that. It's whatever the conversation goes, let's go there. Right. Because, I'm not going to limit the conversation. If we want to talk wrestling for an hour, we're going to talk wrestling last week I had a music. Was it last week? Last week I had a musician on. We didn't talk about his music at all until like the last 5 minutes. We literally talked wrestling, comic books, and something else for like an hour. And I was like, can we at least promote your stuff?
I think that's important. Obviously, I'm gonna make sure I put in, shots of my album, Rona Countdown. Y'all can go stream it. If you got Roku TV or if you have a Fire TV, you have the ability to download my own channel. It's the Driven VIP channel. You can watch all my past videos and my new video. So please get that. But I feel like there's a human element that has to be available now in 2020. And you're gonna know about that I do music. Everybody does music. Like I don't know a person that don't sing or make a beat or has written, or I just don't know the person that hasn't given that a try. So everybody does that. But what else? Like, what are some other things that we can connect on? I love wrestling. So hopefully there's somebody out there that listens to you that's like, okay, well, shit, Tyke like wrestling. Hit me up. Who are your top 5? I want to know who your top 5 are. Those are the things that connect on a deeper level. The music will always be there. But what else do you like? Who are your favorite sports team? What was your family upbringing? Like, you got brothers, y'all got sisters. Like, those are the things that people relate to more. If you look at an artist like Cardi B, Cardi B makes great music. I love Cardi B's music, but her rise was one of the earlier ones who were just building a base on Instagram and Twitter. And people rock with her because not necessarily because of her music. They like her personality. People will ride with you forever off your personality. Your music goes up and down. Like, you're going to have hot times. Like, I know my time, it's going to come whatever somebody would consider, oh my God, he's on, like he doing it. Oh my God, he up there with such. But that's cyclical. What's going to make sure that you rock with me forever is how I treat you on a day-to-day basis. Like, what are the things that me and you rock with on a day-to-day basis? What are you seeing me post? Like, am I checking on you? Am I telling you happy birthday? Like, those are the things that'll make a person stay forever. Not the fact that I'm hot, because I don't control hotness. There are other kids control that. Kids control the music industry. Like, those are the ones that are making artists skyrocket. You know what I'm saying? So that is what it is. That'll come whenever it comes. But the people that's going to stay with you forever, the people that's like on the ground floor with you right now, check on them people. Make sure they doing well. See what interests y'all got, because they're the ones that rock with you. Not the people that's going to come when, Puff Daddy say, man, follow him. That's fickle. They don't care. The people that are rocking with you right now, the people that's going to be with you forever, they want to connect with you on a deeper level. And I think it's important to have podcasts where we're talking about things that ain't really got anything to do with music, because they're going to hear about my music every single day. That's what we on Instagram and social media for.
Exactly. That's my point too. Yeah. And that's why I do it that way, because again, there's going to be other podcasts. There's going to be, if you, BET or something else that's going to ask you nothing but music questions. Where's the personal element? And that's what I love about it. I have no problem talking nothing but personal elements the entire time, just because, again, that it builds a stronger fan base for who you are. Because if all they know is your music, then they can't really connect. Then they're like, okay, well, is that story true? I mean, did he really do that, or is he talking about a friend, or is he talking about somebody else? And it's like, oh, but I know he did this. So okay, now I get it. And that's the thing.
Right. I feel like one thing that I do appreciate, I don't know, man. Have you watched The Social Dilemma? Because I just watched that shit.
I did.
Man, that shit drive me crazy. So it's like I knew a lot of this stuff anyway, right? But some other shit, I'm like, damn, like, are they really just Is it a green dude in the lab? Like, okay, Tyke, I'm gonna put that text out there so you can look at it. Like, damn, is that what's happening? I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But the one thing that I do think that the younger generation who were on social media, that's all they know that there's this layer that has to be pulled back. You know, like I said, not to date myself, but I vividly remember a time when I didn't have a cell phone, but I would just go outside and play and talk to people. So like that was a thing. Like I didn't have a cell phone. Like if I didn't see you, I didn't know where the hell you were. Like I didn't see you on Facebook. Facebook didn't exist. That wasn't a thing for me. I had to actually call a girl on the phone and say, hey, Mr. Such and such, is such and such there? Like those were the things we used to have to do. Oh, that's done now because of Tinder and swipe chat or whatever, all that shit, whatever. But I think the thing that they do have is that they understand that you got to peel back. Like there's not this layer that you can have because everything is so open and forthcoming. And I actually struggle with that a lot because I like to have a private life. Like I don't like to share a lot of stuff about me and my family or what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. I know I have to though. Like that's the emotional wall that connects people. It's like little things, just giving people updates that I'm doing a podcast or I'm doing press or whatever. Like I don't really like doing stuff like that because I don't want people to know all the insights. But as this album has started to roll out, I'm like, man, I got to do more of that. Just give people an update. What are you doing right now? Because that's the type of stuff that they want to know. They want to know more about. What are you doing? There's enough positive moments on the internet where everybody's so glammed up and looking well. What are you doing when you just got a hat on and you about to get in the middle of an interview? What are you doing? Exactly. Like that's what they want to know. That's the stuff that they want to see because they see so much of perfection. They don't want to see perfection all the time. They just want to see you as you. Because if they know you and they can connect with you, they'll be with you forever. So that's something I'm praying myself on to get better at because it's a struggle. Because I remember when everything was just like a wall. You used to be a little bit more private. Now the world is so small because of the internet.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I've noticed too, especially with Instagram. You know, if all I post is show updates and, you know, I got this person coming up here, my engagement goes way down. You know, I've got 13,000 followers, but I'm getting maybe 20 to 25 likes. But I sprinkle in, oh, we went to Sonic today and I got a burger. You know, oh, look at the hills of West Virginia, so beautiful. You know, people are like, okay, my engagement goes skyrocketing. So it's like, okay, I gotta sprinkle that stuff in like that. Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing. Like I was real hard on Instagram for like the promo of the album and stuff like that. And you know, hit or miss. People like the video, so it go up views. I posted up my wedding photo yesterday. Probably one of my best engaged photos. I mean, it just people want that story. That's the stuff that they want. It's no secret. They want to know about love. They want to know about what are you doing. They want to see the other part. But I feel like at this point, one thing about the social dilemma that it did show me is that it's not by happenstance what ads you see. So at this point, I'm fighting for your time. And the marketing company has more money and better ads running to get your time than I do. So, but what they don't have is me. They're not me. That's the one thing that I can beat the marketing company at. I'm always going to be better at me than they are. So I need to just show them who I am. And that's going to make people connect with me more than anything I can do from an ad standpoint or just hey, check out my show. Well, they've already saw probably 40 posts like that, to be honest, the way the algorithm's built from a bigger artist. So at that point, they're probably like, I can't really care about your show as much as I want to. What else do you got going? Well, like you said, I doubt that the marketing company has their influencer going to Sonic, but I can go to Sonic. So those are the things that kind of make you stand out more so than just check out my show. It's hard though, because really, I just want to say, hey, check out my goddamn show. Like, check it out. Please come. Stop playing with me. Come to the show. But you realize in an instance that don't really make it better. And we want to get engagement more than anything. I'm realizing that too. I'm realizing that too.
And that's when I mean, like, I'll just like, one of the things I like to do is if I'm not leaving the house that day, I don't want to post a picture in bed or, you know, my kid eating. I don't want to do any of that. So it's like, okay, let me go find something. I'm going to go to Reddit, find the most hilarious meme I can find that's not too racy and post it up there where I can get my engagement up. So you'll like be scrolling through my page. You'll see a page promo, you know, I got this going on tonight. Oh, here's me at Sonic and, you know, here's me doing this. And then here's a freaking cup of coffee that looks like a demon, you know. It's like, hey, you know, whatever I got to do to keep that engagement up, and it's
whatever you got to do to keep the people up. It's a tough battle. It really is, because it's a day-to-day same, man. Like it's one of those things where the grind in the social media industry is very important, and just engaging and getting people to know who you are in content and finding that balance of, like you said, promo versus actually like real life. But this is what we signed up for. I think social media broke down everything though, because like I just said, man, earlier, just the cost to promote used to be so outlandish, and then now it's not no more. If you run a correct, strategic, targeted ad, you can convert anything. You really can. You can.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's also other tricks to where you don't even have to pay a damn dime to where you can grow your audience too. You just got to be willing to put the time and effort into it. You can, you could literally grow 1,000 followers, every couple of days if you're on your app constantly just grinding, following this person, commenting on this, and hey, check this out, and just all over the place, and just I hate it, but I am so addicted to it because it's like, this is my life. I am a social media influencer. I'm a podcaster. I'm a stand-up comedian. If I'm not out there all the time, it's like, what am I doing?
Yeah, Gary V talked about that 1 cent rule or something. I forgot. I'm probably saying it wrong. But anyway, it was like, find a popular hashtag, follow it, comment on those people's stuff. They'll follow you back. If you do that 50 times a day, in a week, you'll have 250 new followers or whatever it is. I'm bad at math, so whatever. But if you do that, like that's how you can build it up easier. Like the kids have time. That's how they can build their followers so fast, right? I don't have as much time as them because I already have a built-in amount of the day that has to go to my 9 to 5. Then you got to put in time for, your wife, make sure that she's well. Then you got to figure out how to carve out time for your career. So it either gonna spend some money or you're gonna spend some time, one or the other, but ain't no other way to do it. You got to figure out which way you want to do. I don't think either one of them is wrong. It's about figuring out what's that spot for you.
Yeah. See, and sometimes I dedicate too much time to my wife and my wife will be like, your engagement's down today. You need to go post something. Go find something to post. Get away from me.
You got a good wife, man. If you're talking about go get that Instagram page up, engage, that's dope as hell.
And that's the thing. So I mean, like because I started the show now back in like January, and I've grinded and taken it from to almost 1 million views a month, and I'm grateful for that. But when back in July, when I lost my job due to Corona, and I said, what, I'm not finding another job. I'm making this. This is it.
My job.
This is my job. And my wife was like, you're not making any money yet. And I'm like, just trust me. And she's like, okay. The most reluctant, but hesitant, and supportive of all time. And now it's been 3 months later, and she's like, okay, I guess we made the right decision.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, that's
dope. And I just want to tell you to keep doing that shit. And I know you will, because all it takes is a little bit of earned income to come in for people to be like, all right, I see the vision. But that's dope as hell, man. I think Jenna told me was like, your podcast is like one of the top podcasts of 2020 or something like that.
I was ranked. World ranked 25 in the world. Yeah,
that's crazy. And that's really just you taking a leap of faith, because everybody doing podcasts right now, but there's something that you found a spot for people, over 1 million people checking it out. Like, are you serious? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But you're gonna keep on going. You're gonna keep on elevating, and next year you're gonna have 50 million views. That's what's gonna happen. It just keeps building. It doesn't stop.
I mean, next year things are gonna change though. This platform might stick around, in a smaller capacity, but what I have planned for the future, I want to be able to create my own fucking Tonight Show type vibe. I want to have an in-house band. I want to take, make an uncensored. Imagine Joe Rogan uncensored doing the Tonight Show. That's kind of what I want to do. Nobody's doing that.
There's a lane for that. Damn, you just said it. Like, I couldn't even get the words out fast enough. There's nobody that's doing that right now.
Yep.
Please do that shit. Like, for real, because nobody's like uncensored with that vibe. Everybody's kind of like PG. If you think about it, and we got so many different networks right now where you don't have to be PG anymore.
Yeah,
like you don't have to. Like it's cool to be on NBC and be Jimmy Fallon and all that. It's dope. We love them, Stephen Colbert, all of them. But there is a lane where at this point in 2020, we need somebody that's like talking shit, like pure talking shit, cussing with the vibes. I think it's a great idea. You should definitely do that shit. I just want to come perform. That's all I ask, man.
Dude, I will fly you in. We will have a good.
Where you guys based? Where you based?
I am actually not too far from you. I'm in Northern Virginia.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. I'm in Memphis. My granddad actually, he passed away last year, but I got family out there in Virginia as well. So like, yeah, my mom goes out there. She used to go out there, at least try to go out there once a year. So that's wild. Okay. It's about 12 hours, right? If I'm mistaken. Something like that.
From here to Memphis?
Yeah.
No, that's less than that, I think.
I thought it was about 10, at least 10, I thought. I could have swore. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't made that drive in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I could be wrong.
But yeah, and we're actually talking about buying a house and moving to just right outside of Virginia and West Virginia next year. And build me a big old studio so I can do all that stuff I want to do in the house or outside the house, and so there's some changes coming, and I'm so stoked.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
that sounds like a level up, and continue to do that for real. One thing I'm gonna tell you about houses. So I made my first with my wife. We made our first purchase of a house this year. Blinds, get them motherfuckers in the house contract. Like, hey, y'all gonna put blinds in here. That's one thing that I found out on the other side. They're expensive as hell.
Oh yeah.
You don't realize that growing up though. You just got blinds in the house. Like, oh, there are blinds here. Oh, blinds ain't cheap. They got to be cut right. If they ain't cut right, you got to send them back. You got to put. You can wait for somebody to come install them yourself. That's gonna be a fee, but you're gonna figure out easily how to put some goddamn blinds up because you ain't finna pay that fee. So I would say that.
but what I've discovered this year, and and hopefully will be our last year of renting, in our giant freaking townhouse, is we finally, my wife finally convinced me to get a cat, and then we got 2 cats. The vinyl blinds and regular screens on your windows are not cat proof. so we got to cat proof the entire house, because let me just tell you what, man, we live in a 3-story townhouse, like most places in frickin' Virginia. Everyone's a townhouse. And right outside of our 3rd-story bedroom window is this little half roof thing that kind of covers part of the garage. And my cats last week pushed out the screen, knocked it out completely, and decided to hang out on the freaking roof.
Cats just doing that? They just busting down shit like that?
They've knocked out 3 or 4 screens this fall, and the fall's only been around a month. We opened our windows a month ago. We turned off our air conditioning a month ago, and they keep knocking the screens out, and then those kind of half hang out the freaking window, and then or they'll go on the roof. Like they've done that twice with the roof.
Is hell, man. I don't have any animals, but I just hear that cats are like the sneakiest.
They are.
Yeah.
Me and my daughter were laying in bed the other day. My wife was out of town, visiting a friend, and she goes, "Dad, I heard something." And I'm like, "What'd you hear?" And then it was this like little creak, and then all of a sudden we heard a kazoosh, and then the cat just jumped outside, and she's chilling. She's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And she's thinking about jumping into a freaking tree. She sees a squirrel, and she's like, "Oh shit, maybe I'm gonna go for it." And you see her like inching up toward the end. I just grabbed her by the scruff, and I said, "Get your ass in here." I called my wife.
What's wrong with you?
I called my wife, and I said, "Get your ass home. Your cat just went outside on the roof. I ain't doing this shit no more." Yeah, fucking cats. Now I had to close my windows to where there's only like maybe 2 inches. Like, I want full window open. It's 50 degrees outside. I want that cool breeze. I want that. Man, I can't have it no more. I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I need to cat-proof my windows.
I've heard nothing but terrible things about cats. So
they're assholes. Assholes, but I love them.
We love them, but they assholes. That's exactly what I heard about them, man. Seriously.
Yeah, and then my wife. So I got my wife one last year, And then she goes and buys me one for my birthday this year. So now it's like, damn it, now it's mine. I can't hate the little fucker, but it's like, damn it. And
I want to hate you, but I love you so much.
I do.
But I hate you.
And he comes up to me and he'll just like sit on my chest and be like, pet me. I'm like, oh, you little cute motherfucker.
Stop doing so bad, though. I'm assuming that's what having children is like, too, though. Like, hey, stop doing stupid shit, but I love you.
Yeah. And my 10-year-old is like a fucking mini Jim Carrey. And oh my dude, she's like 80% me, and it scares me because you know I'm again the comedian in the house, but she learned everything from me, and then she like dialed it up to like 12.
Because she's young. So when they're young, they got so many more barriers and new ways they can go. Yeah, man. Yeah.
She's always trying to find new ways to make people laugh in ways that I never thought was possible. And it's hilarious. That little, she's a little shit too, man. Oh, God. But damn. Yeah, she just, little shit. Kids are great though.
Yeah, like disclaimer. Children are great, man. They're the way of the future.
Yeah, I do have an 18-year-old as well. She's out of the house though. But she's even worse. So kind of glad that she's out of the house. Joe, if you're watching, I'm sorry. But not really.
You know, yeah, he understands. Yeah, man. Like I know that's Nick's children and things like that. And the one thing that had always bothered me about kids is like everybody when they talked about them, it'd be like, man, 25 negatives. But then like 2 positives on the back end. Like, but you'll love them though. Don't worry. Like, what the fuck? Like, where can y'all start with the positives?
Yeah, it's like when they're first born. You know, you get in their face and they'll grab your finger and they're just looking at you with this face of hope, looking you square in the eye, and you feel nothing but love. And then they puke on you, and then it's kind of like, I love you, but. Fuck, I hate you. You're like a cat. Babies are like cats. You love them, but you fucking hate them. You know,
you're on me
all the time. Don't wear black. You gotta stop wearing black. You gotta change to like an off-white or green.
Off-white or green.
That's why because that's for the shit. You know, that's when you get shit on.
I've seen a couple of people on social media with like new babies. It's like these kids are just they're getting worse. Like they're just getting everywhere now.
And when they finger paint with it, look, I drew a smiley face. Wait, what with you don't have crayons? You don't have crayons. What did you do? That does not smell like green.
Not with crayons. You don't even have crayons. What the hell is this? It's crazy. Kids are disgusting.
Just buy a bottle of hand sanitizer and learn to pray a lot.
Don't worry, I got Jesus here. We good.
You good? You're good. That's good. That's all you need. A little something. Whether it be Jesus, Allah, or Buddha, you need something in your life when you got kids. I don't care if it's just Mother Earth. Pray to something.
Pray to somebody takes care of this because it's gonna be trash. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't care if you're Wiccan. You need somebody. If you atheist, you better do some research and find somebody you like. Jesus Christ.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
That's the problem with me being a comedian. I laugh at my jokes sometimes too hard. I can't follow it up.
Nah, man, it's understandable because if nobody else like your shit, then
at
who
least
else
I
gonna
do.
like it?
As long as I'm laughing, that's all that matters to me.
That's what's most important.
Exactly. I'll say some of the stupidest shit, and I'll just think it's hilarious as hell. And I'll be cracking up. My wife will be like, "That's not funny." I'm like, "Yeah, it is." Like yesterday, I made a joke and I said, "Hey, it's Columbus Day, right?" And she's like, "No, it's Indigenous People Day." I'm like, "No, just let me finish the joke." And she goes, "Whatever, okay, just go ahead." And I go, "It's Columbus Day, right?" how are we even supposed to celebrate Columbus Day? What are we supposed to do? Go to the grocery store and get lost while looking for spices? And she goes, that's stupid. And I go, no, that's fucking funny. What is wrong with you?
I mean, that's what our dog did, and just landed on some shit, and
and then
these mine.
Then kidnapped a bunch of people. Let's go ahead and give him a holiday for kidnap. Oh yeah, woo!
Right. Congrats on what you did, my dog.
Yeah.
Crazy.
See, that'd be like as bad as the first white guy that went to Africa and said, "Hey, come on, guys, let's get on the boat." Do we give that guy? Do we give that guy a holiday?
No.
Why the fuck are we giving Columbus a holiday?
I don't know. I think Jay-Z said the only Christopher we acknowledge is Wallace. So
there you go.
Biggie Smiles, man. That's it.
That's right. That's
That's
all
it.
that matters.
Yep.
Love that guy too.
Yeah, he's dope.
Gone too soon. Him and Pac.
That's another story within itself. Jesus.
No. They're living together in harmony. They're probably a gay couple that has kids, and they're living in the Bermuda Triangle on some deserted island and nobody knows about.
That's what they were saying, like in the back end of the 90s. They just like in Portugal or some shit, just kicking it. Like, fuck.
Yeah, they both were like, Mary J is too crazy. We got to go. and they staged their own deaths, and they went and fell in love together, and they're living in peaceful harmony with some swimming pigs on some deserted Bohemian island. That's my view. That's my view of where Biggie and Pac are.
Where Biggie and Pac is, yeah.
They realized Mary J is too crazy, and they got to go. They got to go. It had nothing to do with Suge Knight. It has everything to do with Mary J. Blige.
Hell nah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I have no idea. I just think it's funny as hell.
Hilarious.
I try.
Hilarious.
Dude, you're an awesome cat, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate being here. It means a lot. It really does.
No, dude, it was my pleasure. When I got the word that you were coming on, I was like, hell yeah, because I had heard of you before, and I was like, oh, cool, man. Because again, I love, we had talked about this briefly before the show started. I've been in the metal bubble for so long, and if it's not metal, I'll immediately change it most of the time. And I have no lie about that. But being on the show and talking to other rappers and hip hop artists and R&B people, it's like, it's exposed me to even Latin music. I don't even understand what they're saying, but it's like, damn, there's so much good music out there that I have erased from my view because I'm just so blinded by what's heavy, what's scream, what connects with me. I can't listen to if it's not metal. And this show has given me that opportunity to really connect with other people, and it's so badass.
Yeah, man. I think the one thing about me just in general is I grew up with so many different elements because, like I said, when we were talking at the very beginning, I remember Carson Daly. And so the thing about TRL that you didn't realize that you were getting, it was just meshing all of these genres together in this one countdown. And so you just got so much music. I grew up with so much different music, and now it's not like that anymore. It's more so R&B and hip hop centric. But on my playlist, though, if you were to look at it, I got a lot of rock songs on there. Like, what is the Green Day, and I guess got all this old shit on there that grew up with me. Evanescence, take me up inside, shit like that. Like, that's just what I grew up with. Like, I can't run away from it because that's just what we all knew. And it wasn't even a black or a white thing. It wasn't even a this genre or that genre thing. It just was, that's the number 5 song. That's what's up.
Exactly.
And you just listen to it. Like, you didn't think twice about it. There was nothing. And then after that, Nelly would come on and we would listen to Nelly. It just was like, that's the way it was. And I miss that. I really do. I miss that in music. I know we'll probably never get back to that, but there was something about that where all the music was just like this big old melting pot, and we just got to all grow together. Yeah. And so I try to, especially out here in Memphis, right? Like, hip hop obviously is like a huge genre, but in Memphis, blues is huge. There's a lot of circuit singers. There's a lot of circuit shows. So there's a lot of there used to be a lot of clubs open like on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? And you're doing those songs, and you can't necessarily get in there and do a hip hop record, but you can go in there and let's say they're doing a Prince song, and they'll be like, "Hey, I want 16 bars on a Prince song. Can you come do that?" Okay, cool. Like I performed at the Grizzlies game a million times now. The last home game that the Grizzlies had this year, I did the halftime show. It was the tribute concert that we did. I say concert, but it was one song that we did for Kobe Bryant. And we remade the I Will Remember You. Like, I knew that song though growing up. Like kids now probably don't know those genres because they're not crossing like that no more. Like they'll know Lil Baby and that's it. But they're not gonna know that Caucasian lady who wrote that song. Don't let your light.
Sarah McLachlan.
I couldn't think of her name. Anyway, so like I used that chorus, but then I made my own 16, and the whole song was like a record, like a letter to Kobe. Dear Kobe, it still does not seem real. So I'm writing to that with a record that she probably never thought somebody was gonna rap on. But like I remember growing up to that music when I was on the bus, and like I said, I'm from Smyrna, so the bus driver, she's not playing hip hop, she's playing Sarah McLachlan, and so I had to listen to it, but. Who would have known that fucking 20 years later, me knowing that song and having it deep down back in the past can come back out at one of the biggest shows of my career. That was actually the last basketball game that the Grizzlies had here in Memphis before the pandemic came. It was February the something. And the next thing you know, shut down. Then 4-month break into the bubble.
Yep. And truthfully though, most people actually equate that song with those ASPCA, not the ASPCA. Yeah, maybe. The commercials with the dogs being beaten and abused and in shelters and stuff like that. That's where most people know that song now. The pet animal commercial that makes everybody cry.
Yeah. Actually, I remember that now. Yeah, you brought that back up. I remember that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Every time I hear that song, all I do is see injured animals in my eyes, and it's like, oh, come on, that's not cool.
Yeah.
But, for me, it was never about black or white either. It was just about what I felt connected to as far as music goes. And, but, the more, black people and Hispanic people and everybody that started to get into rock as I started to get older, like, the lead singer of Seven Dust, dude is French, and, I think he's Haitian. Big old dreadlocks, but one of the greatest metal singers of all time. And he's just fantastic. And when I first learned that he was black, I was like, hell yeah. And then, just all these, whether it be Howard Jones of Killswitch Engage and now of Light the Torch, just an amazing voice. I mean, I love music because it doesn't know culture. You know what I'm saying? And doesn't matter if it's a white dude doing rap or a black guy doing, metal or, a Hispanic guy doing pop and R&B. It doesn't really matter. It's all about music being that central force of unity. And if we just drop all of the bullshit around it and just get together and just enjoy some good fucking tunes, doesn't matter about what color, race, or, creed you are. It's about how good that artist is up on stage, and we're there for that one sole purpose.
Yeah. And I think, music was one of those things for me that kind of did take away that thought process of what the color and the genre is. Now, as I've gotten older, though, I won't lie. Like I've leaned more into I guess my history of who I am, where we come from, Black people as a whole, a lot of the systemic things that they've been against, that we've been against. And so as I was growing up, I don't really think I saw much of color with that stuff. As I've gotten older, I have. I won't even lie. Like I'd be lying if I said I didn't, and I'll tell you why. A lot of the things that have been ripped apart from African American are stolen, without any type of recognition. Like rock and roll was built off the back of Big Mama Thornton because she got her song stolen from Elvis Presley, Hound Dog. Like these things have always been happening. And so, something that you said, as I've gotten older, I kind of do see that because I don't really, I don't have a problem with Macklemore coming and taking some of the genre because hip hop is a genre for everybody. I believe that, right? I think Eminem's one of the best rappers ever, and nobody will ever be able to take that away from me. That's just my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
I still remember how I felt when I heard and I am whatever you say I am. I'll never forget that, because I was trying to play football and that song got me pumped up. But there is something to, you know, an African American, I think, being able to get the recognition that they deserve for this genre, because it was built off the oppression, off the struggle, off the things that we couldn't have back in the late 70s going into the 80s. I watched the documentary on it, hip hop evolution. If anybody wants to watch it, it's really, really great, because it shows the evolution of how hip hop got built and the things that they got to go through and the things that are still happening today. Like, you know, it's crazy. It really is crazy where we're at right now with this industry. But yeah, man, I hope eventually we can all get back to, like, just like you said, the music is always going to ride. It don't matter what color you are, who you is, whatever. Great music is timeless and it always will shine. It just does. Like, that's the way this shit works. Great music will always ride. Great music will always be timeless. I hope that I made an album that people can think the same thing about with Rona. I really do. I've gotten great reviews. People have been like, man, I love this junk. It's good. And that's what I was trying to do. I was just trying to create something that people could be like, damn, I really want to continue to listen to this.
Yeah. and I feel you on that. On everything you just said. You're 100% right. But at the same time, and again, this is me coming from a Midwestern, you know, white guy in the middle of Ohio, you know, when I was, you know, growing up, you know, we weren't taught, you know, color, you know what I'm saying? In Ohio, everyone's just so laid back and just doesn't give a shit, at least where I was at.
Wasn't either.
Yeah.
I wasn't either. I'm gonna lie. Like, I didn't start to see more of color until I got to Memphis, to be honest. When I was in Smyrna, I didn't really see color like that. It wasn't a thing, to be honest. And that would be a lie if I said any differently. But as I got here and I started to see the oppression, some of the systems that I was living in that I wasn't even paying attention to, because you have to lean into it and open up your eyes to understand it. Other than that, you're just living in the system. It took me coming up here, growing up, and actually like having my like eyes open to it, where I got to see it. But no, like back in when I was in Smyrna, I didn't see it. Some of my best friends of all time were Caucasian, and I still got a lot of dope ass white friends because that's all I knew. One of my best partners right now is named Sleepy J. He's a white dude. He's a wrestling fan, wrestling fanatic. He's Caucasian. Like those things are still gonna be there, right? Oh yeah. But I think as I've gotten older, I've started to see more of the ways of the system, and so I make sure that I try to identify those things and correct when I can. Yeah. And if I can't, I just have to move on, because at this point you got to keep going, you know?
Yeah. And that's what I was trying to say. You know, when I moved to Virginia from Orlando 4 years ago, you know, so I've had the benefit of living in three completely different places, whether it be, you know, Northern Ohio, Northern Virginia, and then Central Florida. I've seen a lot of different things. And, you know, in Florida, it was just weird. I don't even want to talk about it. But when I got here 4.5 years ago, you know, I live, you know, right in the middle of a former battlefield. And, you know, there's a historic site over here from this Civil War site. And there's another one over here. And then there's another. And I've done all this stuff. And it's like, okay, I see that now. And I see where, you know, the things that have built off of. And I'm starting to see it more than I ever have before. But it's almost like, I just kind of want to go back to the way, you know, like we were just talking about before, to where it doesn't, you know, yes, we have all this history. Let's never forget it. Right. But you know what? That's the history. Let's keep that history in the past, and let's move forward as all brothers and sisters. And, you know, one of the things that also, you know, gets me about this kind of stuff too, is I'm a science guy, and I'm big on evolution and stuff like that. And we all do, if everyone got a DNA test, everyone's going to notice that at the end of their DNA test, doesn't matter what color you are or whatever, you know, creed you were, you're going to have 1 to 2% that you are African descent. Because at one point in time, we all lived in Africa. We were all Cro-Magnon man or cavemen living in Africa, being one freaking race. And then we kind of went out and did our own thing. And it's like, you know, so we're all brothers and sisters in this all. We made a lot of mistakes along the way. But now it's time to come back together and just hug it out and say, I love you, man. And that's where I kind of see it coming, but I definitely see your point of view too.
Let me go ahead and say this now, right now, bro. I love you, man.
I love you too, brother.
There
you know, we all brothers and sisters, man. And
yeah, man.
You know, that's just how I view it. And I hate the stuff that, you know, I have to see, you know, the stuff that I've learned and been taught, and I hate it. But you know what?
Yeah.
It's for us, you know, people like us to make a difference in this world, and hope that what we give our children and our children's children, you know, is better than what we got it.
But what we experienced, yeah, man, that's the goal. It's just to leave what we had back in the, like, whatever you had, and to leave it in a better spot. That's the end all goal for everything.
Exactly.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And racism, you know, well, racism and oppression, period. Doesn't matter, you know, what level of it is, you know, doesn't matter if it's Black, Hispanic, LGBTQ, whatever. Right. Racism and oppression just needs to be a thing of the past, period. And we need to be talking about it in history books instead of talking about it on TV going, oh, this happened the other night.
Right. Yeah. That would be an ideal situation.
Of course.
And I hope that we can get there. I really do.
I do too, man. I really do. You know, and we have to look forward to it. And I'm glad there's people like you in the world that are preaching that kind of stuff. You know, I'm glad that we've got a lot of people in the world that are preaching that kind of stuff nowadays. And, you know, and one of the things I think, again, is the biggest key contributors to that is music.
Yeah, music always heals all, right? Like, the thing about music that's so beautiful is, like, you might forget your Facebook password, right? But you can remember a song from the 8th grade when Little Joni turned you down. Like, you'll never forget that. And it's so crazy, right? But it's like, I can't remember what my work password is sometimes. And I just made it yesterday because I forgot it again and I didn't write it down. But I can remember a song from 1996 because that emotion is more important than anything else. And so music always finds a way to heal. It always makes you feel better or worse or whatever it does. Like, music is something that'll be here forever, right? It's not going anywhere. Even though I think the industry is in a lot of trouble, to be honest. I think, you know, it's no secret if you look at a lot of these bills. You know, I'm a part of the academy, so one thing that we've definitely been trying to push is a couple of bills to get through that can hopefully help out, you know, save our stages and things like that. Because the venue is gonna die right now. And so it's gonna fall off in a couple of ways, but I'm confident that there will be new ways that it starts to grow again. Like if you look at some of these video games like Fortnite, they're having shows inside of them. Like, things like that is probably where it's going to have to go eventually, because you got to find new ways to get money. But I don't know the next time we'll actually be able to go to a show. They're talking about probably like 2022, to be honest. Like,
that's what I heard as well. Yeah,
that's what I see in a lot of articles, like on Rolling Stone, things like that. It'll be closer to 2022. So there's not too many industries, and music isn't one of them. But there are not a lot of industries probably in the world that can face being shut down for 2 years and come back. I don't know what the industry is. Probably like the grocery store probably is one, because we got to eat, right? So a grocery store probably could figure it out. There are not a lot of industries that can be down for 2 years and find a way to like come back. And I don't think music is any different. So I'm hopeful that we can get back to it. But man,
I feel you on that, because, you know, usually around this time every year, the festival concerts that are usually around in May are usually starting to be announced. Hey, we got this. Here's our headliner. Oh, we'll announce more later, but here's our headliner. Here's night 1. Here's night 2. Here's night 3. And
Memphis in May will be starting to come out right now. Beale Street Festival, all of that stuff. You know, South by Southwest. It's time to start planning for that. Yeah, it's time to start planning for South by Southwest. A3C will be happening right now in Atlanta. I mean, Coachella, it'd just be everything. Everything will be happening right now. It's time. They start talking about Bonnaroo Festival down in Manchester, Tennessee. Like, it's done though. And
they're silent. They're all silent, you know, and that's the biggest key indicator that there will not be much next year, if anything at all.
Right. Yeah.
But, you know, I hope it comes back, and I hope it comes back stronger than ever. I hope, you know, during this time, people realize what they missed. I hope during this time, people have discovered new artists and new attractions that they were, you know, blind to before. and everyone gets a win because of this too, because we need a win as a whole.
We need one bad, bro. like, like for real. You know, if there's anything, I know as we're getting closer to the end of my time with you, like if there's anything that people can get is we need a win, but I know we're gonna find it, and to never stop going after what it is you're doing.
Absolutely.
Like, for real, like you are a walking testament of it. You know, you have built over 1 million listeners in a month, and that is not by happenstance. You had to put in the work for it.
Yep.
And you know, I got 1 million more things to do, but I'm thankful for what I've been able to accomplish. I was able to chart Billboard back in 2017. Songs all on TV. Just dropped the new album that's, like you said, on the first round ballot, which I'm thankful for. Hopefully we get the nomination. I don't control that, but that would be amazing. The new video countdown is on Apple Music. If you have Roku or Fire TV, you can download my channel. It's called the Driven VIP channel. So you can see all my past videos. You can listen to the album Rona. Like, we've done some amazing things, but the key to all of this is, and I think you can agree, to all your listeners too, y'all, like, just don't stop. Yep. Because I'm sure you can notice too, you come in and you start with so many people and then it just starts to dwindle down. It's like, where'd that person go? Where'd that person go? And my secret is no different than anybody else's. I just haven't stopped yet. Like, and I don't plan on it. And if you don't, you'll be able to figure out where your lane is, where your niche is. If you give up, then it's over. You lost. You lost. You can't win if you stop. You can't. It's impossible. So exactly,
brother. You guys can follow him at Twitter and Instagram, both Tyke __T, both places. And available everywhere else. You know, find him, listen to him, buy his stuff because he deserves it, man. He's, you know, dude, you're amazing, and I'm so glad we got hooked up. You know, you're somebody I'm definitely gonna want to keep in contact with, brother, man. You are just, you're badass.
You. Yeah, once we get past this pandemic, I definitely want to connect. If anybody wants to find more information about me, just visit www.drivenbymusic.net. I'd love to have every last one of y'all become a subscriber for me, man. Like, I got my own fan subscription service where we mail you out monthly items. It's really cool, like different perks. You know, based off your subscription level, you have the ability to get deeper discounts on merch and things like that. The cool thing about all my subscribers is they get monthly music. So through the pandemic, you know, we haven't stopped. They got new music. You know, I'm sharing this music out to the world, but the subscribers were already still getting new music. So those are little things that we like to do. Just try to keep you engaged with Tyke T. I'd love to have you all. At the very least, though, man, just don't stop going after y'all dream. And if y'all get that, my whole conversation was worth every hour and 23 minutes. Just keep going. I know it looked dark. Yeah. I know it looked dark. I know it don't look great. You're going to find a way. Just get a sheet out, write down a goal, go for it. Don't stop.
Right. Damn right. Your dreams are as close as you want them to be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Or as far away as you think they are. It's all in your head.
All in your head, man. All in your head.
Dude, I appreciate you so much, man. Dude, you're awesome. And I really do truly appreciate you. And I wish you nothing but the best. And I hope next month, when that finalization comes out, that your name is on that fucking ballot, and I will be screaming your praises, brother.
It'll be amazing. You know, it really will. And I'm prayerful and I'm hopeful. And you gonna know either way if I get it or not, because I ain't gonna run from it. That's the thing about it. Like, we don't run from our losses, because ain't no such thing as a loss. It's just a lesson. So if I get it, that's what's up. And we're gonna keep grinding. If I don't, man, I ain't make it. Let's get to it next year. I know what I got to do. I'll cut the corner. I'll figure it out. Like, whatever. So we're going to win regardless. Ain't no losses. We already won.
Absolutely, brother. Dude, you take it easy. Take care of your wife. Stay safe out there.
You too, man.
Oh, absolutely. I will. I'm trying. But yeah, I mean, I wish you nothing but the best. And when you start touring again, man, I would love to come see you.
All right, cool. I'll definitely let you know.
Yep. All right, man. You take care, and we'll talk again soon.
Be good.
You too now, brother. Bye.
I bet.
All right, guys. That was Tuesday. I love this show. I truly, truly do. Thank you so much for being here this evening. Thank you so much for all your support and love and admiration. It means the absolute fucking world to me. Come back tomorrow, 8 p.m. East, 5 p.m. West, for episode 99. 99. And Thursday, episode 100. 100. We're gonna party like it's 1999. Okay. It's time to go to bed. Guys, I love you guys. We'll see you back here tomorrow. If you're listening to this on your way to work, please drive safe. And I will catch you guys again tomorrow. But until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and as always, stay fucking heavy. See you tomorrow, guys. Peace. I hit the wrong button. I'm doing that again. Now let's try this again. Stay happy, stay healthy, and as always, stay fucking heavy. Peace.